is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
There's just one place where you can take $10,000 off the 2025 Acura MDX. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning. morning, boys and girls. I knew it was like there's something going on, man, with my camera. Damn it. All right, hold on a second now. So, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Which is the... No, live is fine. Okay. Live, we're centered. Rick, I mean, on the... What people are watching, we're centered. We're good. But...
Oh, go to settings on your StreamYard.
Yes.
Go to camera. Click on mirror mic camera.
Click it.
Yep.
It's already clicked. It has it.
Unclick it.
Unclick it. Oh, so now it mirrors. Gotcha. Jesus, that was confusing. See, I needed you.
That's what was happening at the remotes as well. That's what I found out. I guess they default back to that now every time you start StreamYard.
That was like I was doing the bro show, and obviously I do it solo, and that was like I was tripping myself out. Like, yo, dude, what I'm seeing here is not here, and it's not what I need to mirror, you know. And okay, we're good. We're good. Now we're good. Good morning, boys and girls. Okay, now it's all working. Now we're good. Now we're kosher. I like it. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. How you doing, Sean? You doing good? You hanging in there? Good? All right. He's just he's getting ready for the 500.
That's good. That's good.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. The Heat weren't good last night. That was mafugly. Okay, that was mafugly. That's what that was last night. It's not just ugly, but it was mother effing ugly. So it was mafugly. And it was just you know, they couldn't hit the side of a barn. If you asked Kyle Anderson, can he put the ball in the bay, he would miss. It would land in the park. You know, so I don't know how many bunnies that guy missed. All. So, yeah, it was rough. I mean, listen, it was their first game. They just got there. They were playing one of the best teams in the league. Yeah, you know. It is what it is. You know what one thing that I did see from last night, not that I needed this, but it's just like another chapter on top of 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 another chapter. You know what you needed last night, right? You needed like a star to stand up and let's see. Bam Adebayo. 22 points on 6 of 17 shooting, 1 of 5 from three-point range. But he's a franchise player. He's a star. I just have loads of facts, examples. You know what I mean? There'll be outliers because, of course, you play enough games like him, you're going to have a couple of bust-out games. Wow, those are the days you show up at the park and you're kind of hot and you're hitting all your shots and stuff like that. And, you know, it happens to all of us. You know what I'm saying? But it just kind of, when I'm watching that game last night, I'm like, okay, this constantly proves what I keep saying about Bam Adebayo. He is a super role player is what he is. Okay? Not a star. Stars take over at that moment. They may lose the game or whatever. Like I talked about the other day about Michael Jordan always being an SOB in his, was it first or second year, whatever it was. He lost at the Garden, but he scored 63 points. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not asking him to be Jordan. I'm just saying, if you're a star, you go out there and put up a fight for your team and you put together one hell of a performance. And even if you lose, but you put together a hell of a performance like a star would with a roster around him that's not that good. if you were that guy. If you were that guy. But since Bam Adebayo is not that guy, he goes with how the offense and everything around him is going. He isn't the offense. He's a facilitator, but he is not the creator or the reason why the offense flows. It's because my greatness. You know, that's what great players do. The offense flows through them because of their greatness, because of their energy, because they can score by waves. They don't just score occasionally here or there and all that. No. Their scoring is in waves. They have tsunami-like attacks. That's what stars are. And since, as I've always said, if you cannot, in today's NBA, impose your will offensively, you are not a star. And Bam Adebayo could never impose his will offensively because he doesn't have a great offensive game. And he constantly proves that. And last night, that's what I took away from it. I didn't give a shit about Wiggins. I don't care about, I have some fun with Anderson because, my Lord, that kid missed he's a grown veteran, but he missed a lot of easy shots. Okay. And what is it? What's the Mitchell kid? I didn't expect any of those guys to go out there. If freakishly somebody had a good game, okay, fantastic. Fantastic. If freakishly somebody had a good game, great. But I didn't expect that. So their struggles against a good team, they don't know their teammates. They haven't practiced. They're not even going to get a ton of practices in a row, all of that kind of stuff. The break coming up might help out, so that'll be good. But really, I didn't expect them to do much. And they didn't. That's fine. Give them time and all that. But last night, you needed the guy that has been here, the guy that is like a pillar for you, supposedly, right? That's where you need last night a performance where the Heat fan, okay, you got a loss, but man, Bam played a hell of a game where he really busted his ass and he tried to get him over the hump and kept him in it or something. But that wasn't the game because that's not who he is, and that's the problem. And that's where I keep hammering it away because I know that if it would have gone the other way, I'm the one that would have gotten hammered all the time about the whole Bam Adebayo super role player guy, because that's who he is, unfortunately. Let's see what we got. We got a little Casper pump. Not bad. That's nice. Getting to 10 cents. Bitcoin at 97,000. Okay. Some stuff moving. Avalanche up 3%. Man, Pendle. Over the last, I got Pendle at 134. And I noticed a trend over the last year that whenever there's been a dip, the floor was 270. So last week, a few days ago, I saw it in the 280s. And I said, you know what, man? Even though this raises my average, I love Pendle. It's got a small market cap. I think it's still going to be able to turn over. So I bought some. And then I told the story on the Crypto Bro Show. It was like at 303, 305 at that moment. It's now 361. Because it was like at $6. And I know it's going to pass that again. And I'm an idiot because, I'm trying to, okay, I see the 270 as the floor, and I'm doing my whole technical analysis bullshit, and it's so hard. When anybody tells you that they can time the top or the bottom of anything, they're full of shit. Okay. And so I'm trying to so I take it in the 280s. I'm not going to wait for it to get to the 270s. Why? It never got there. And so now I'm sitting there going, I should have bought more. I should have bought more Pendle. It's like, damn, I should have bought more. I know it's a great project. I know it's a terrific company, and so I should have bought more. So Pendle's up 8% today, up to $3.60. So the stuff I bought in the 280s is already, I don't know, you do the math. If in the 280s and we're now 360, I think we're super profits in a few days. You know what I'm saying? But Pendle's a phenomenal I've talked about Pendle for a long time if you follow the show. What else is going on in the market? Polkadot up 3%. Polkadot ETF is coming. That's gonna jack it. Vanguard chain up 4%. Cardano up 12%. Well, it went way down. It's back up to 79. Like I told you about Cardano. Okay. You're gonna have volatility with Cardano up and down until it crosses the 150s. Once it crosses the 150s, it soars. Okay. Let's see what else I like that is in the move. Games for living up 8%, not bad. I don't have it, but I know of it. What else? Kind of quiet. BitRock is up 10%. Compete with a K is up 10%. Not bad. Ondo, freaking love Ondo. It's up 4%. Ether with an A up 1%. Sturdy up 20%. Good shit. So a couple of them are moving, which is nice to see. So there we go. Now the stock market itself hurting a little bit right now. Dow Jones down 107 points. The S&P is down 14.5 points, and the NASDAQ is down a point. So there you go. Little crypto and stock market action for you, of course. And if this whole steel thing, by the way, continues, be prepared. Cars will go up in price. Can of Coke will go up in price. Anything made with steel and aluminum is going to go up. So, tariffs, baby. Tariffs. That's what the market is responding on the steel tariffs. So be careful, because we're getting our ass kicked worldwide. We produce less than 10% of the steel and aluminum that China does. So we've lost all our strength in that area where we used to be monsters decades ago. And we haven't been in a long time. Like 2017 was our last peak. After that, we've gone downhill since then. So that was, what are you going to do, man? It sucks. But they're trying to do it, but we're so far behind. So far behind. Even Canada beats us in producing. So it's tough. Oh, well. Anyway, what are you going to do? All right, what do we got going on the chat board? Appreciate all of you out there. Stephen Harris is in, still recovering from my car accident. Well, I hope you feel better, my brother. Halftime show was garbage. Swifties have earned a spot on the choke list. Gotcha. Chiefs have just got to fix their line. Chiefs lost a few years back where Mahomes got his ass kicked. It's not his fault. It happens. If you're not good enough, that's just the way it is. The quarterback cannot carry your team. If you can't win in the line of scrimmage, no quarterback is going to carry you. And remember that they went and fixed their offensive line and went and won 2 Super Bowls. Well, the offensive line wasn't very good anymore. That offensive line they fixed a couple of years ago is already now dog shit. And that Philadelphia front handled them. So now they've got to go into the offseason and fix it again to get back to where they're at. They have other pieces, and they I see DeAndre Hopkins announced that he's going to retire. So they're going to need, weapons. That's the key. They got to help out Mahomes, bro. Just because he's Mahomes doesn't mean he doesn't need weapons, and he needs some weapons. So they've got to fix their offensive line badly, and they've got to get some weapons for Mahomes around the tight end. So, just kind of the way it goes, man. That's how this is in this world. You got to adjust. TJ Superman, Caspa pumping. I didn't notice. Ray Sosa is in NorCal. Jeff in Long Island. One-Eyed Jack is ready for an ETH pump. So am I. It's coming. I'm not worried about any of this whatsoever. Jamie Zoria, the explosion coming will be amazing. Ocala Joe, there he is. He says, I want to send a happy birthday and wish to my special lady in my life, my wife of 28 years. And yes, Lourdes, happy birthday. I can't sing it because I think you could get sued for it or something like that. But, so. They say it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Lourdes. And Ocala Joe, make sure that birthday is special today. Roll out the red carpet. Okay? T-breads must be, a thoroughbred. You gotta treat a thoroughbred with, grace and class. You know what I'm saying? So us T-breads, we're special people. So got to take care of Lourdes. And Lourdes, one day we'll share a drink on your birthday there. Down the line. I know it. So happy birthday. Happy birthday. And everybody wish Lourdes a happy birthday on the chat board, all right? Ocala Joe and his lovely wife. So everybody wish Lourdes a happy birthday there, all right? Skylar Tipton, Mace Taggart, Aquavision, Alexis Palenzuela, True Fin Fan. Missed yesterday because work was crazy, so I won. Man, I feel good. Yes, good for you, by the way. We were happy for you. Very good. Nice job by you. Congratulations. It's all about getting that cash. Alexis Palenzuela, Frankie Fresco. I got color? I don't know. I've walked a few times, maybe during the sun. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. What else do we have? Horn Dog is driving to a meeting. Boss could have emailed. Well, hope it goes well, my brother. Lenny Pena is in the house. The Celtics just showed us they are on another level. Bam is not a 1A guy. He's our cherished super role player. It's a terrific young man, obviously. Great young man. His character is second to none, but he's not a great player. He's a super role player. The Heat should bring in Caitlin Clark. Thank you, Danny. Let's see. True Fin Fan, he said he bet 500. So he won 500. Who knows? Maybe he made a little live bet too. Won a little extra on something. Juan says, to be fair, Anderson, so many Heat players missed easy shots yesterday. It was irritating to watch, but I'm not angry. I'm expecting much out of them. Yeah, to me, it wasn't about them. I didn't care really about them. I kind of expected them to be a little bit out of sorts. They just got here, bro. They just started playing with these guys. The guy I expected to okay, this is my game. Tyler's out. I need to, as we say in Spanish, ponerme las pilas, Can't say it in English, I got to put the batteries on. I got to get my shit together. I got to step up. I got to be a dog tonight. I got to be a mother effer tonight. I got to bring it. I don't know what cliche you want to say, but that he needed to be ignited himself last night, and passive Bam. You know what I'm saying? Same dude. It's a shame because he's got all the skills for it. That's the frustrating part about Bam. It's not like he can't, if he physically couldn't do it, I can't ask somebody that physically can't do it. I can't ask Duncan Robinson to become a force. It's not his game. He has to play within the offense. He has to play off ball. He has to do his stuff, catch and shoot, cut to the basket, all that kind. But he's not the guy that's going to start dribbling and creating and taking over and all that kind, breaking down defenses. And that's not Duncan Robinson's game. He can't do that kind of shit. He can't fall down 7 times and get up 8. You know what I'm saying? He does that, he won't last 2 games. He'll be dead on arrival, as they say, DOA, you know? It takes somebody special, man. That's why the Wades of the world, when we get them, appreciate the hell out of them, bro. You know, because when you get those kind of people, they're different, man. They are different. After the start of the fourth quarter, I switched to FAU men's basketball and saw a much better effort. Yes, they beat Charlotte. So nice job by FAU. I made some notes. Caleb, with a K, Glenn, 18.6 rebounds and a block shot. They improved to 7-4 in the American Conference. They're 14-10 overall. Hoot, hoot, way to go, Owls. They got it done. Let's see. Alexis says I'm 50, plus the halftime show was epic. If I had a message delivered. Ray Varnicus, good morning to you. Juan Rosa, don't feel confident Bam shooting the threes. He made a few and thinks he's Curry. I'd rather him be more physical and tackle some mother effers, like you said before, and foul more. He needs to show more intimidation. That's the other thing. For a guy like him, he doesn't block enough shots either. He's not enough of a defensive, force around there. And so, but now that's why you got Ware, because that he has that in him. He's naturally, that's who he is. There we go, coming in with the happy B-days. You people are strong. Love it. Oh, yeah, Tyler Hero was missed. Yep. Jack says, I have my Caspa, my Tangem. When it comes time to take profits, what would be the best way to sell? I'm thinking of swapping for USDC in my wallet. Obviously, this is something for far down the line. Yes, exactly. And then you send it to your bank account, because the USDC becomes cash. So yes, that's exactly it, my brother. You got it. You know what you're doing. You get it. You figured it out. The USDC is cash, and then it just goes right into your bank. I always love the people. Well, how is that money? Well, it's converted right into USDC, and you put it into your bank account. Your bank account's connected. Really? Yeah. So, it's like my mother-in-law. Oh, está jugando el juego. That's what my mother-in-law says. She's 80, in Cuban. So it's like she's watching Univision and, just all that kind of crap that's not really giving, regular television, English or Spanish. They're all full of shit. And so she thinks crypto's a game. That's what they tell her, So it's kind of like, I'm like, yeah, I'm playing the game. Yeah. Inside my head, I'm going, dumbass. Anyway, there was a guy on the other team named Jason Tatum. That's what a star looks like. Missed his first 5 shots, then went 13 of 19 the rest of the way. Right. Stars, man. Real stars. Jimmy is 2-0 with his new team. Meanwhile, he can't beat anyone. Yeah, I'm just, well, you know what we need to start doing is a Jimmy injury countdown. He's got 2 games in. Not that I'm wishing it, but, it's the inevitable. So, yeah, that's what we got to do. So we got to do. We got to create some kind of a Jimmy injury countdown, because the inevitable will happen. He will break down. His little body will break down and all that good stuff. So, yeah. There we go. And by the way, Jermaine, what do you want? You want Jimmy back here? I don't know. I'm not sure what Jimmy 2-0 over there, and the Heat can't beat anybody. I mean, the Heat aren't very good. They were never very good. It's the problem in the Heat Nation. Okay, it's a very delusional state. They think that their shit doesn't stink. They think every free agent wants to come here, which they don't. Nobody gives a shit about Miami. It's just like any other place. Are you paying me? Do you have what it takes to trade for me? Do you have the cap space? I'm going anywhere and signing anywhere. It's just give me my money. Okay? Donovan Mitchell ended up in Cleveland. Oh, no. Yeah, oh, no. Miami's going to have a shot at Spider. Spider is going to want to come here. No, he stayed in Cleveland. It's just, it's this, oh, no, Durant, both times. You never had a shot at Durant. There's a delusional state here that we have. And the same thing as it goes with this team. Like right now, the whole you still think Tyler's really that good? Yeah, he can score, but he's really, come on. He gives up a ton of points. He's not really a force on defense. And, physically has not held up. This is not a very good team. So I'm not sure, like Jermaine, what's the use in complaining that Jimmy's 2-0? You had to get rid of the guy. It wasn't working here. He's not good enough to carry the team. You have overachieved with him as it is. And he has to kill himself just so you can have a shot at winning. It's what people don't understand. That's why I keep saying you need to gut the team as much as you can and get as many picks as you can. So if you could trade Tyler in the offseason, if somehow or another he can stay healthy for the rest of the year, I would trade him for picks too. If somebody's stupid enough to give you a couple of picks, I would easily trade him. That's what this team needs to do. It's what I've been saying for a while. You got to gut this team. They know how to draft now. So if you use all the picks for either a young star that comes along, because now you'll have cap space, now you'll have a few picks, because if you trade Tyler, you can get a couple more. Now with what you got with Jimmy and what you got there and what you got your own down the line, now you can start to use a package of picks. Now you've got a chance. But before, you never had a chance. So we have the delusion of how good you really are, how good Bam or Tyler really is, because then the Heat Nation and the Heat do a great job of pubbing their players and putting them on social media and little highlights and all that. And the Heat Nation, #Heat Nation, eats it all up. And then they start building these people up to something that they're really not. And then when you look at the reality of the team, watch it the last couple of years. They're not that good. And they're really not that good over the last 5 years. It's just they've overachieved. And that made it worse because you have the best coach on the planet. You got the max out of Jimmy, but you're not that good. And now you're finding out what a house of cards it is. And eventually, it's what I keep saying. Unfortunately, I wish I was wrong, because then that means it would have been really good. But Riley has to learn to take 4 steps back to take the steps forward he wants to take, and he refuses to do that. And this Band-Aid bullshit approach just keeps stopping you from progressing. And now you've got the Wiggins contract for a couple of years. It's we got to stop with this delusional state that we're in. So some of you are in, unfortunately. So, yeah, Jimmy's winning. So what? Who gives a shit? You had to get rid of him, bro. You were going to be stuck with him for another year. And on, you're barely a play-in team. You know? Hope your mother-in-law doesn't listen to the show. Wow, she wouldn't even understand it. And she's in Madeira, Spain right now. So she's living life, bro. She went to Portugal and she's in Madeira. I'm super jealous. Super jealous. Jimmy is not breaking. He keeps his body in great shape. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see. And the same delusional fanatics who thought Giannis or Durant, like, come on, people. Right, it's silly, bro. It's silly. Let's see, what else do we have? Wait, what the hell does OKC have our first round pick this year? Oh yeah, well that's if Miami does it. If Miami is a lottery team and top 10, it goes to KC. If they're outside the lottery and all that, Miami will get to keep it this year. That's how it goes. So it's kind of a, it all depends on how the season ends. In other words. All right. Do want to tell you a little bit about R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Ray and Mike do exceptional work. 305-345-3649 here in South Florida, home or condo, by the way, because a lot of you are having issues and you got to get up to code and you got to do all kinds of things to make sure the insurance and everything is kosher. Well, waterproofing your terrace, your balcony, and a flood test report is extremely important. And you got to make sure it drains properly and all that. It is amazing. R&M Contractors does that. Please call Ray or Mike. And my one thing for sure, you are going to get work at the highest level. So if you're looking for a complete remodel, I'm talking full blown, they can do it for you. Kitchen upgrades with appliances, impact windows, door installation, bathroom upgrades, maintenance. Yeah. When it comes to drywall, level 5 finish, call Ray or Mike right now. Cell phone 305-345-3649. That's 305-345-3649. The Instagram, RMC Fisher Island. That's RMC Fisher Island. All right, let's talk a little Dolphins football with David Furones and our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, brother? Because it is a slow week.
Yeah. Post Super Bowl, it gets a little bit slow, but then you have the turnaround into the combine late this month, and then that gets you right into diving into free agency. So I feel like every offseason the wheels just keep turning, and you just have a slow week here and there, and then you pick it right back up.
So has everybody pretty much put past the silliness of trading Tyreek or that he's going anywhere or anything like that? Because, it would make no sense for people that are trying to save their jobs to create dead space for themselves in the offseason when they need all the space that they can get. So I'm just wondering, is that dead finally within the media?
I would hope so. And then even all right, Tyreek Hill does that big interview. Well, he makes the interview rounds, but one of the major ones was the interview with Kay Adams, and a great interview, incredible interviewing skills from her to get all his thoughts out of him, especially from a guy who's just a habitual troll all the time. And sure.
But did he say it with real honesty and conviction. Like, I'm saying sorry, and then
that stuff. Yeah, he's bullshitting there. Yeah, but
it's just kind of like that's my problem with it. It's hard. It's blah blah blah. I don't really buy any of it from him. That's my problem. Yeah. When he talks about himself as a leader, you're not a leader, dude. You run the wrong routes. You drop footballs in key moments. You do stupid shit off the field on a consistent basis. You say stupid shit on the field, in the locker rooms, in social media. You're a distraction on every single level that there is. Where are you a leader? You are not anywhere near a leader. So just, it just falls on deaf ears, at least for me,
Yeah, that stuff. I get you. But I would just notice a couple times during that interview, Tyreek would be like, "Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask me that," and it was almost like, "Oh, he was just expecting softballs from Kay," and then she went and got the stuff that everyone wanted to hear, and really his first public interview appearance since that post game locker room tirade that he threw at MetLife Stadium. So good to hear that. We had heard him on whatever, like a video game stream, which is just like him and
he was on PFT also, and
he made the rounds this Friday for on Super Bowl Radio Row. But how did we get there again?
I just
if we can get over him being traded, right. So I hope so.
And part two is, why believe any of the bullshit this week?
Yeah.
I mean,
as far as him getting traded, I mean, I was still hearing as of the night before all these interviews that he made. Like I play on a local league softball team, and then my friends on the team are still like asking me, "All right, so what about if the Dolphins do this and trade Tyreek?" And I'm like, "Bro, like the Dolphins cannot. They got to make it work. They gave him all those guarantees. They got to make it work with him." Chris Grier's trying to save his job, not put his team in a more difficult position to compete in 2025, and hamstrung himself with the salary cap while also losing still a hugely, immensely talented player, which you've built to run an offense that he is a primary target, and it's built around having that kind of speed on the outside. So I hope everyone finally heard these interviews and gets the idea, like, yes, okay, everyone's on the same page now. You got to make it work with Tyreek. Tyreek is over that tirade that he threw at the end of it. He knows he's got to come back and make it work, and hopefully Mike McDaniel and the coaching staff can get him in line so that they make it work. And as far as his bullshit, well, that's Tyreek. And you hope you can curtail it to some end and get him in the right mental space this season. But he's just the ultimate. You just never know where he's going to go mentally.
Okay, so you said something really interesting when you answered it. You said it's an offense that's built around him, and obviously he's the centerpiece of the offense. That has to change, right? I mean, it's proven that that's a failed experiment. You cannot be led by midget wide receivers in the NFL. You need to be led by your offensive line and your running game. Your wide receivers need to complement. You need to be more dominant in the running game, and possibly with your tight ends, actually, more than your wide receivers. Your wide receivers need to be the complement. The days of 1,800 yards and all those things probably should be done. You should probably be maybe both guys down in the 1,000, 1,200 area where you're running more, you're controlling the ball more, and you're capitalizing on big plays because you have brought in the defense into the box. And now you're getting more single coverage out there. Instead of being so obvious that you're a passer, become obvious that you're a runner. I think that's really the what's it called? The recipe you need, right? I mean, isn't that proven over and over again?
Yeah. Here's where I'm in between on this is that's kind of what they tried to do this past season is, okay, we're ridding ourselves of, and not from the run game perspective. They did not run the ball well. I feel like they felt they already had that because of the success they had the previous season. And then it was, all right, we're not so dependent on Tyreek Hill. Let's, after a month into the season, they start working Jonnu Smith into the offense. He ends up having a Pro Bowl season, having an all-time best Dolphins tight end season, throwing to the running back in Devon Achane. So trying to rid yourself of the dependence on Tyreek Hill and the offense being about him and the threat of him, and then working off of that with defenses so committed to stopping him. So that's where I'm in between is that they tried to do that and then it didn't work as well. And then so now do you need to go back to highlighting Tyreek Hill? But you do need the run game and the offensive line for sure. That is the biggest area where you
never did it. So you never did it. You never did it. You've never done it. That they haven't done it since the 70s, my brother. You have never been a team that is truly committed year in and year out. Don't tell me about outliers that, 1 year Lamar Smith, 2 years Ricky Williams. Last year, Mostert had 21 touchdowns. I'm old. Yeah, we got outliers. What? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar 1 year had 1,100 yards and he had 15 touchdowns. 13 of them were from 1 yard in because it was all short yardage with Jimmy Johnson. Do you want me to continue? I can continue and pick outliers, bro. I'm old. Yeah, that happens every once in a while that are running. They have never, ever really committed to being a running team like what you see from Pittsburgh, what you see from Baltimore, what you see from teams that commit themselves, Green Bay, no matter what quarterback they've had over the years. They have committed themselves over the years to the running game. Always there. They don't do that here, bro. They just don't do that here. So I disagree with you wholeheartedly on that. There has never, ever been a true commitment to the running game with the Miami Dolphins. No one has ever done it. Not Shula on the back end, not Jimmy Johnson, not Dave Wannstedt. Well, actually, Dave did kind of stick to the running game. It just wasn't productive all the time. And then everybody else has really never developed a real running game year in and year out. We have outliers, but outliers are not. It's like the other day I saw Poupart say that the running game wasn't really the reason why and this and that, and he came up with and I pointed out to him that there were several games that when they dedicated themselves to the run, they didn't have a quarterback. They had Ty Huntley. And then he points to the first 3 games. And the 3 games, that's not us. It's not a sample size. It's not a season. That's not seasons. You need to dedicate yourself to the running game. And this franchise refuses to do it decade in and decade out. It's amazing.
Yeah. And again, I'm talking about, they didn't run the ball well or commit to the run this past season. But I'm talking about trying to free yourself of the dependence on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, whereas the previous 2 years, it was all about them.
That's how you do it.
And but in the passing game only, they threw to the tight end, threw to Achane out of the backfield or line them about wide. But
no.
But they need that. I do agree. They need that.
Howie Rosen is doing now. Okay, pay attention. What Howie Rosen is doing now is listen to what this son of a bitch is doing. Okay, the quarterback is interchangeable. The head coach is interchangeable. The guys won 2 Super Bowls with different coaches, different quarterbacks, different players.
One of them a backup quarterback.
Bro, Jalen Hurts ain't shit either. He's nothing. All he has to do is make a couple of passes. He's a runner. He's nothing.
He even did miss a couple of throws in this game.
Jalen Hurts ain't shit, dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying, he even missed a couple of throws, and they still blew him out.
Ain't shit. You know what's the shit? The shit is that Howie Rosen figured it out. dominate on the offensive and defensive lines, run the football, and everything else is interchangeable. You know where he stole that from? Joe Gibbs. Joe Gibbs created a system that the offense and defensive lines dominated. They constantly ran the ball because the Dolphins were one of their victims in the Super Bowl as John Riggins ran all over their ass. Okay. And guess what? They won with 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
That's right.
Okay. And Joe Gibbs was the architect of it. And not one of those quarterbacks will ever go to the Hall of Fame. Jalen Hurts will never go to the Hall of Fame, and Nick Foles will never go to the Hall of Fame. They can buy tickets to go to the Hall of Fame, but they'll never be in the Hall of Fame. They were carried by their teams, and all they had to do was make a couple of throws, and that's it. Howie figured out what Joe Gibbs established a long time ago. Win on the line of scrimmage, run the goddamn ball, and everything else becomes super easy for you. You cannot lead with the passing game. If you want to lead with the passing game, well, then you better have Marshall Faulk. Okay? That's the last team. That's the last team that I saw that went out there with the passing game and a defense that was okay, and they got it done. Why? Because they had that guy back there. That guy was a home run hitter at any time, a threat that the linebackers were just shitting in their pants every time. Does Miami have that? And, well, actually, Miami has never had that in their lives because that's different. Marshall Faulk is at another level. So that's my point, that you got to get back to the basics. It's funny that the people that are winning are doing the same shit the Dolphins did in the 70s. So, bro, wake the hell up. Dominate on the lines and run the ball, and then let Tyreek be more of the complimentary guy. And then you'll be really winning big. That's what I think.
Okay, it is highly important. You need to be able to win up front, and the Eagles do that better than anyone else with their O-line and their D-line combination. They win in the trenches on both sides of the ball. But you can't just sit here and say quarterbacks are interchangeable when we would have been talking, and you even picked Patrick Mahomes to win a three-peat, and he had just won the previous 2, one of them against this Eagles team, another one against the 49ers, also another franchise.
And why did he lose?
Brock Purdy with them to get there. And
why did he lose? Or why did he lose?
Why did which one lose? Who?
Why did Pat Mahomes lose?
Pat Mahomes lost in this one. But yeah, the Chiefs were dominated at the line of scrimmage on both sides.
And why did Pat Mahomes lose 3 years ago before the 2 Super Bowls? And he was sitting on his ass constantly in that Super Bowl. Why did he lose?
When he had both his tackles injured and the Bucs pass rushers were able to get after him.
So maybe the quarterback is a little bit more interchangeable.
What, you think the Chiefs would be winning multiple Super Bowls with an interchangeable quarterback?
My point is, the problem wasn't Pat Mahomes. Point was that you didn't win at the line of scrimmage the last 2 years. You won at the line of scrimmage. Your team, your offensive line was healthy. It was great. You were dominating with Chris Jones on the line of scrimmage. This time around, you did not dominate with Chris Jones at the line of scrimmage, although you controlled their run game, and you did not dominate on the offensive line. So it didn't matter that you had Superman back there. You made him into Supergirl, unfortunately. That's just kind of the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter who you have back there. You can have the greatest quarterback. If you don't win at the line of scrimmage, it makes it impossible for anybody to win, including Tua Tagovailoa, including Dan Marino, who his teams never won at the line of scrimmage. And it's just elementary, dude. And until the Dolphins get back to winning at the line of scrimmage and running the football, which is what Tua had at Alabama, teams that won at the line of scrimmage and ran the football, and he won a national title because all he had to do was pass. He can do that. But if you got to make him do everything else, you're SOL.
Yeah. And also, it's a different story in the AFC to come out of it than the NFC. NFC doesn't have as many great quarterbacks, so that's why in the AFC, yes, you have your Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow who have made all the recent Super Bowls. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, quarterbacks to that caliber still haven't gotten there because it's such a gauntlet to get through the AFC. And you're talking about teams that have both, too, is that they can win up front and they have an elite quarterback. Whereas in the NFC, yeah, like you said, Jalen Hurts, hey, he doesn't have to do too much. And I mean, he does add a lot of value with what he does with his legs. But as far as a passer, he doesn't have to do too much. And he's made 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, winning 1.
He has to. Jalen Hurts can't live in the pocket. He's not good enough. He has to run. He has to be that because he's not a real passer. That's the problem. He's an athlete playing the position, trying to be a quarterback. So you only need him to hit occasionally a couple passes, and athletes can do that because they're athletes. So they're going to hit a couple passes. But if you dominate like they do at the line of scrimmages, life is beautiful, bro. It's absolutely beautiful, you know?
Yeah. I hope the Dolphins finally figured it out. I think when you heard Chris Greer say, hey, we're going to have to invest in the offensive line, I think he really said that. He was taking it to heart and really said it from what he truly believes. So, hey, from his words to their actions, please.
Now, the question is, like, I don't believe anything Tyreek will ever tell me, you know, to steal the great Jim Mad Dog. I wouldn't believe Tyreek if his tongue was notarized. Okay. I mean, that's just that's a Mad Dog line right there. I also don't believe in Mike McDaniel whatsoever. I'm done with him. But if you even get the line and you get the running game going, do you have a man that will truly commit to the line, to the running game? Because it's interesting how the guy that was a run coordinator doesn't understand that will make your quarterback and your passing game's life so much easier if you're nice and boring and pound the shit out of the defense with the ball.
Yeah, but haven't had that personnel. The guard. I mean, when you had a great guard in Robert Hunt, but it was going to be too much to keep him around. So yeah, you had 2 starting guards who were previously backups and maybe serviceable as backups when they had to come in, but they previously lost out on competition, and then now they're counted on as starters. So and it's a run game built on the outside zone. So. Not being as physical. So I think, he also is going to have to implement that into how he calls the run game and add some physicality so that then you have that presence when you get into the short yardage situations where the Dolphins have struggled so incredibly in his entire tenure leading the offense and leading the team.
Yeah. So what would you do? You're Chris Greer. You're taking over. You're David Greer. Okay. Right. So David Greer is now the general manager. What must happen this offseason in order for you to, you and Mike McDaniel, kind of save your jobs?
Yeah. You got to solidify the guard positions. So you find one in free agency. There's going to be several options out there, so find yourself a fit. So someone who can run with the athleticism to run the outside zone, but you also need a physical presence now. So I want the line up front to be more physical. You're going to need to find yourself with 10 picks, probably a couple, maybe a few linemen in this draft coming up. You're going to need a couple starting safeties because I'm moving on from Javon Holland, Jordan Poyer. Then you move on from him, and he might even want to retire. In his own right, backup quarterback is a priority. So you
want Jordan Poyer back, bro? Why would you want Jordan Poyer back? I mean, really, unless Rachel. Bush,
I'm not saying you don't. I'm not saying you do. Yeah.
I mean, if Rachel Bush wants to do a Dolphins calendar, okay, that's a whole different ballgame. But outside of that, I don't know why you would want Jordan Poyer back.
No, you don't. I'm just saying he might even be in the frame of mind where he retires this offseason from his own perspective. So, but yeah, as the Dolphins, you're moving on and you're finding your safety help elsewhere, but you still need to be economical there. And then you got to create cap space too to make all this happen. So when you look at it, I know we've gone back and forth on the Bradley Chubb post June 1 cut, and I mean that what is it, 19.5 million that you can get out of that. It just looks more and more desirable.
You need a D tackle. You need guards.
You
need another thumper at linebacker. You got in order to get tough, and you can't count on all your rookies to come through like that. That's ridiculous. I don't care how many picks you have. Even if you hit on maybe a couple will help you this year, and maybe even more will help you down the line. But you can't put the whole pressure on the draft class to come through. That's like crazy. You just hope you get a few of them, especially the early picks that come through. But you're going to have to hit on free agency in a big time way. And the question is, if you're going to want 2 or 3 guys, I can't see you keeping Chubb and getting the 2 or 3 guys in free agency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the key. So that's where Chubb probably comes into the crosshairs and ends up being one of those. We've mentioned Raheem Mostert possibly. Probably.
Let me ask you this. If I was thinking about this, if you're going to go, and what you need to do is build up the lines, offense and defense, you need to start dominating in those areas. Okay. Another way you need to dominate is with your run game. You don't really have thumpers. Okay. So you don't really want to do that. So you want to part ways with Mostert. Don't you want to find like a big, more bruising back to kind of add to this offense? So there are moments where you can, pound people with your line and your backs, and then you can shock them with the other guys, with the speed guys, with the H-hands of the world and the rights of the world, because what you really don't want is to use those guys like hammers, because that's not who it is. Man, I was cringing at the end of the season with H-hand. I didn't even want him to play the last couple games, to be quite honest, because I knew they were out already anyway, and that poor kid took a beating this year. He must have been at the acupuncture office every damn day.
Yeah, I hear you. So, you definitely need to take some of that burden off of H-Han, get a physical running back. Now, Jalen Wright, they didn't use him much, and I wonder where he was at as far as just understanding the offense, and also the one time then that you did see him and Skylar Thompson on the field late, and they resulted in a fumbled exchange. And I think it wasn't just Skylar Thompson that was. It seems like it was Jalen Wright too. And obviously we saw where Skylar Thompson went after, and Jalen Wright, that he was a rookie that they drafted. It's not like they could just kick him off the team. So, hey, I look at free agent running backs, and well, if Nick Chubb is out there and he has an injury history, and we know Chris Greer isn't shy about picking up a guy with an injury history, and he's a physical running back, then maybe you can get at a discount. Then why not a player like I'm just spitballing like live right here, just brainstorming as I pop open a list of free agent running backs. So there's a physical presence there to be had. Najee Harris is also a free agent. Maybe the Steelers go and make a move to keep him, yeah, or find yourself an economical choice. But running backs don't go for that much anymore, so you can find yourself a quality back and not break the bank.
It's the injury thing. We use it as a crutch here, and it's become obviously a topic because players get injured all the time and all over the place. And you look at it, right? Christian Wilkins, never injured here, played like crazy, goes to the Raiders and gets injured. You know what I mean? It's like Anthony Davis, constantly injured, all last year healthy, this year healthy, traded to Dallas, injured, right back to being the injured player. Okay. Who was the best running back in the NFL this year?
Saquon Barkley.
Okay. Who the hell was injury prone like crazy his first few years in the league?
Yeah, Saquon Barkley.
You know, because if Miami makes it,
you never know what
Miami signed Saquon Barkley last year, like the Eagles did instead.
Oh.
You know what would have happened, right? The Dolphins. Oh my God, they signed Saquon. That guy's always injured. Oh, he stayed healthy just for the contract. Well, look what happens. It's just luck of the draw sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help that your injury-prone quarterback seeks out contact. That would kind of help with Tua. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, dude, know who you are and don't go out and seek contact, you idiot. That's like stupid. You know, that doesn't help. That becomes even more frustrating when you're injury prone and yet you're seeking contact. You know, that kind of stuff. But it is kind of screwy like that a lot of people don't talk about that, especially here in the Dolphin Nation, that a guy like Saquon Barkley was a sack of injuries, bro. And then all of a sudden, look who he is now. The last couple of years, he's been an iron horse and, dude, easily the best player in the NFL.
Yeah. Or if the Dolphins would have made a move for Derrick Henry and then had the utmost physical running back in the NFL to pair with Devon Achane back there. And then, like, even Raheem Mostert, he was so injury-prone all those years in San Francisco, and then he carries the largest workload he ever did in his career in 2023, like passed it very early on in the season and has a career season. And then very next year, what is it, first snap, second touch that he had, all of a sudden is back to being injured and then, was affected all year. And, he's into his 30s now too. So, but coming off his best season in 2023 was when it all just broke down again. So it's very hard to project. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff. All right. What are you working on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, dude?
Yeah, actually, today I'm going to break down some of the ways that the Dolphins can save money against the salary cap. So with the free agency now within a month from starting, then good time to – we did a little bit of it at the start of the offseason, but now we're kind of like a month removed from that, and then a little bit of a refresher on that. And then going to try – later this week I'm going to this F1 Miami Media Day, and I think I'm going to get to do a hot lap, apparently. I get to, ride in one of the cars for a lap. So that's going to be fun. I don't know I always say I don't know the first thing about F1, but then I guess I do by now know the first thing, so I don't know the second thing about F1. But I'll try to figure some stuff out because I'll write something from there.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Oh, look out. Pitbull has announced 305 is taking over the 954. Dale. Pitbull coming to Hard Rock Live Thursday, May 1st. Why isn't he performing at FIU Stadium? Forget it. Anyway, follow him on Twitter at DavidFurones_. And, of course, support our friends at Welton Realm. If you're looking for lawyers that you can trust me. Jeff and Dan are absolutely amazing. 954-966-4646. David, we will catch up on Friday, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
All right. Steven says, Big O, Jalen Hurts is the younger Jay Fiedler carried by the defense and running back. Yeah, except he's better than Jay, and Philadelphia's defense is better than Miami's was. Even that defense, okay? That was a good defense. This is a great defense. Much better than Miami's, unfortunately. Our defense was good, but it really needed an offense to truly complement it, to put it over the top. Both the Eagles and Gibbs Redskins that won multiple Super Bowls had interchangeable QBs that could each run first downs and with required. Theismann is not really about running, bro. Not sure if you watched it. Okay, so that's really not true. You know what I mean? And Doug Williams was more of a runner in his Tampa years. In his Washington years, he was more of a pocket passer. He didn't take the same kind of beating. I'm not sure you really watched it, David. I'm not sure. Are you old enough? Because that's not really a good assessment of those quarterbacks. They weren't necessarily runners. They were counting more on their running backs in those days. They weren't really counting on running quarterbacks, those Washington Redskins. This Eagle, and Nick Foles wasn't really a runner either, actually. It's really more Jalen Hurts. Again, really has nothing to do with the quarterback. Again, nothing with the quarterback. The quarterback just has to make some plays one way or another. He could be a pocket passer. He could be with his legs. He could be just a part-time passer, legs, whatever. He could be a mediocre player like a Nick Foles, like a Trent Dilfer, something like that. But the bottom line is, if you dominate on the offensive and defensive lines and you got a running game, your quarterback just has to make a few plays, just has to manage the game, just doesn't have to screw it up. All you have to do is be Ben Roethlisberger and Tom Brady your rookie years. There you go. I don't even have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger the second go around where he was a completely made quarterback and was a next level dude. Okay. Tom Brady was not a next level dude either in that first Super Bowl. It was the defense. It was the running game. It was the lines. It was, hey, kid, don't screw it up. Make a couple throws for us and we're good. And that's exactly the first Super Bowl was Jermaine Wiggins, Troy Brown, Corey Dillon, I think it was, like an older Corey Dillon, right? It wasn't like a super offensive team, but they dominated defense and offensive lines. That's what gets it done. Again, go, please, Sean, do me a favor. Go look at that first Super Bowl team for Brady. I want to say Jermaine Wiggins was your starting tight end, Troy Brown, and Corey Dillon. I want to say those were the main weapons on offense. This was pre-Gronk. This was pre-murderer. There's no Randy Moss. There's no Welker. It wasn't like great weapons. But if you dominate the lines and you can run the ball, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, dude. Greasy doesn't have to do much work. He won a Super Bowl throwing 7 passes. I don't know, man. I've been watching the game forever. It's really not that difficult to figure out. And if you can't win in a phone booth, you're fucked. Yes, sir.
I'm going to look for the thing, but I just put in Brady's first Super Bowl team. They won. Brady was 16 of 27 for 145 and a touchdown. That was his stats for the first one. I'm going now to see the team.
It's kid. Don't fuck it up. I don't know, man. It's just like it's really doesn't take a lot of intelligence. And, we got some guy that thinks he can change the game and, I'm going to be Mr. Pass guy. Bro, I watched Eric Coryell. That shit don't work. I watched Shula with Marino. That shit don't work. If you can't win at the line of scrimmage, the shit don't work. And that's what was wrong with Shula down the stretch. He never built offensive and defensive lines that could win on a consistent basis. He could never run the ball with authority on a consistent basis. And the Miami Dolphins have continued that tradition decade after decade after decade. And Howie Rosen said, I'm doing what Joe Gibbs did. Joe Gibbs says, oh, yeah, I'll do what Shula did. That's all. Makes sense. Ask the Cowboys. in the mid-90s. Ask them. Go look at them. Nothing's changed, dude. Go watch the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Steel Curtain and that offensive line and those running backs. Bradshaw's job was a lot easier, but they gave him actually superior weapons and everything with that. Yes, sir.
You had J.R. Redmond. You had Troy Brown, Jermaine Wiggins. I'm going through the highlights of who was there. Most of the highlights are all defensively.
And running backs, who are they? Corey Dillon, right?
I don't even see anything about running backs.
Well, if you go to their football reference of that year, you'll see the rushing and you'll see who it is. But I'm pretty sure it was Corey Dillon. I think I'm remembering it right. I got all the other ones. I didn't get the JR one, but I did get.
And to go with what you're saying, the defense forced 3 turnovers, converted them into 2 touchdowns and a field goal, which is 17 of the 20 points. So they basically scored 3 points without the defensive help.
Kid, don't fuck it up. It's just people have no memories. You know what I mean? They think Brady was lighting it up in every Super Bowl and all that, and or Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger was half the quarterback he was, or a third of the quarterback he was in that first Super Bowl. You know? It's just win at the line of scrimmage, dude. Win at the line of scrimmage. And even if you have Mahomes, you will lose if you cannot win at the line of scrimmage. If you cannot run the ball, if you cannot beat people up, if you cannot win in a phone booth, this whole thing about being pretty, it did not work for Mouse Davis and Jerry Glanville. It does not work for Mike McDaniel. It does not work for Eric Coryell. It will not work. I don't care what decade. I've seen them all. It will not work. It'll be fun. You'll score some points. You won't win anything that's worthy of anything. That's what happened with Marino. It was fun. You scored some points. You didn't win a goddamn thing that mattered. Eric Coryell, it was fun. You didn't win a goddamn thing. Last couple of years, scored a lot of points. It was fun. Didn't win a goddamn thing. Yes, sir.
It was Kevin Falk and Antoine Smith, along with J.R. Redmond.
Indiana University, Anton Smith. That's right.
Houston, University of Houston.
Houston. I'm sorry, Houston. That's right.
Red. It's red.
Red and blue, red and white. Okay.
Yeah, they had as many fullbacks on the team as they did running backs. Mark Edwards was the fullback.
Right. Corey was the next Super Bowl that they won.
I think so. Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah.
Not that one. Antoine. That makes it even better that it's Anton Smith. Even better that at least Corey Dillon had a name from Cincinnati. He also had a really loose kneecap. He used to have a special wrap to keep the kneecap in place. These are things I remember. But anyway, and he was more used up by the time he got to New England, but still serviceable. But Anton Smith, it's even better that they won with a lesser back. It's crazy. It's really not, it's not that hard of a recipe. Football, you really can't change that much. And it doesn't matter what decade. I've seen them all pretty much, dude. Right? They're playing their 59th Super Bowl. This will be my 59th year on Earth on October 1st. So I have grown up with the NFL. Maybe I couldn't pay attention to the first couple of years because I was a little too young, but since then I have. And I've watched everything, and I kind of know I love this fucking game. Kind of tired of the bullshit, but what can I tell you? It's really not that difficult to figure out. And I'm not very smart. And I can figure it out. I don't know why they can't. I don't know why Shula couldn't figure it out. And I don't know why everybody else after him can't figure it out. Get mother effers on the O and the D line. Run the hell out of the football. You've already got a passer. The idiot just has to learn to stay in the goddamn pocket and only run when there's open field and slide. And that's it. Stop seeking contact and you'll be fine. But you're not going to be fine until you build the lines. And I don't care if you get another Marino again, you'll ruin him because you didn't build the lines, because you didn't run the ball. Joe Montana always had a great offensive line in San Francisco, a great defensive line, and always a running game. Always, dude. And always a tight end. Even in the first championship, he had Dwight Clark. Now, it was Freddie Solomon at wide receiver. It was Greg Cooper at running back. Wasn't a great running back. Serviceable. But they wanted the line of scrimmages. They were good enough. And then they became super dominant with Cross and Sapolo and Foster, and as they developed that whole dynasty. But they always wanted the line of scrimmages. You know, oh, the Niners are finesse, this, that, but they were beating your ass up at the line of scrimmages. Not that difficult to figure out, man. It really isn't. Ocala Joe, you are welcome. Lourdes, I hope you have a great day. Costa Nostra part ways with Tyreek. Well, you guys got to stop with that. None of that's ever going to happen. Once I read that, I stopped reading whatever else you read after that because it really doesn't matter after that because it's just you're talking gibberish. Dolphin Dave is in the house. Pat in Asheville is the infamous Sopranos painting. Oh, I didn't ask him about that painting, whatever that was behind him. You're so right. I've been saying that for years now. You win at the line, both sides. That's why Dan did not win. Of course. There are too many holes in the roster, including the head coach, which was built incorrectly from the start. Next year is not going to be fun. Yeah, I'm not even looking forward to next year at all. You know? It's like I don't even want to build myself up this offseason at all for anything. It's like if you shock me, I'll be happy. If you fail, it's what I expected anyway. So I'm not even – it's like I don't really have any hope for next season, to be quite honest. With Mike McDaniel, I just cannot. I cannot believe in that guy, and I will not lie to myself. And, you know, year 4, all of a sudden he's going to change every bad habit he's had and every dumb thing that he continues to do. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Let's see what else. Does Greer get McDaniel an offensive coordinator? Do you follow anything going on, Tony? Why are any of you talking about either moving Tyreek or taking play calling away from Mike McDaniel? I'm just trying to figure this shit out. Like, are you dumb? Are you dense? Do you not pay attention? Do you refuse to see the facts? The facts are the head coach stubbornly says he's the best man in the building. Did you not hear that? Have I not told you that there's no way they trade Tyreek? I'm really trying to understand the ignorance behind all that. Do you think that by repeating stupidity, it'll come to fruition? Is that what we're doing, Tony? We repeat stupidity, hope it becomes fruition. Is that what we're doing? Well, who's the other idiot? Costa Nostra. I love you. Part ways with Tyreek. Not going to happen. I'm just wondering, what are we trying to accomplish? Are you coming to the plate and hoping the force is with you? I'm just trying to figure this out. How some of you continue down the path of nothing. There's nothing there. No changes will be made. That's already been etched in stone. The guy threw everybody under the table in the building, said, I am the best man for this job. Nobody else is fit for it. Threw everybody under the table. Nobody's taking play calling from him. He's convinced that he is in charge of the Titanic, and he is ramming that motherfucker right into the iceberg. I don't know what more English you need, Tony Zags. I'm not exactly sure how much more clear he has to be. Just wondering. I get writers, I get these sites that are just Dolphin-centric. They got nothing to fucking talk about. So they've got to come up with Tyreek this, Tyreek that. Oh, they're now not trading him anymore. Really, they were never trading him in the first place. So I'm just wondering. Just wondering. Big O, in football, trenches win. In hockey, goalies and defense win. In baseball, pitching and defense, especially up the middle, wins championships. Thank you. Can Dolphins, come on, Dolphins were running out of time. They already ran out of time, bro. Window's already closing shut, and they don't have the coach. So, there you go. Yeah. So, and then Luis Benito goes, Tony, I know what you mean. Yeah, because, I don't know, you both are smoking the same stuff. No idea. No idea. No, it's Jermaine. Tony, I get what you mean. Both of you are smoking the same stuff. And Stephen Harris, Tony Zags, you big dummy. Exactly. Like, brother, he is the captain. And that iceberg is, we're hitting the iceberg right now as it is. Okay? We're all sinking. Okay? And McDaniel is sitting on the wood, and he's letting Greer fade into the water. Okay? That's what's going on right now. We've hit the iceberg already. Those who could save themselves have. The others are trying. And meanwhile, Greer's hanging on. And, McDaniel's safe on top. And he's just floating away. So that's what's going on. If you want to choose to leave the same guy in place and let him call plays, and I have no hope for the 2025 season. For me, the 2025 season is over before it even started because of all of that. But happy birthday, Lourdes. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the phenomenal Alan Blanco. If you need custom printing and embroidery, please call him 786-618-1443. The Celtics over the Heat, 103-85. Jovic with 10 points, Bam with 22. Next up, they've got OKC on Wednesday on the road at 8 o'clock. Wiggins, by the way, in his debut scored 11 points. Poor guy struggled 3 of 12 shooting on the night. Tonight, taking on the Cuse at the Watsco Center. 7 o'clock is the tip. FAU last night over Charlotte, 87-75. They improved to 14-10, 7-4 in the American Conference. Caleb Glenn with 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. Sunday, they're at Temple, noon. Wednesday night, by the way, NSU, the Sharks, are hosting Palm Beach University. 7:30 tip for that one. So if you want to go over to Rick Case Arena and catch Nova, you can do that, and Palm Beach University. All right. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. I feel bad for Mike Tomlin. Really good coach, dude. And he's had such a great run there in Pittsburgh. He's been phenomenal. I really wonder if Mike Tomlin's going to become an alcoholic. I'm really, really concerned because he had to deal with the end of Ben Roethlisberger and throughout his career. And as we all know, Ben Roethlisberger is really a piece of crap. And he had to mask all of that and hide that piece of crap and deal with it and deal with him breaking down towards the end and selfish and all that bullshit. Then he has to deal with Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, who any of you Dolphins want to step forward there and admit you wanted Mason Rudolph? Because I remember a whole bunch of you on the draft time. You wanted Mason Rudolph. And I used to make fun of you because I used to say, you guys just want Mason Rudolph because he has a cool name. But he's really not a good quarterback. It kind of turned out that way. Landry Jones, I remember. Devlin Duck Hodges. Justin Fields. Russell Wilson. And now they're saying that Aaron Rodgers could be finding a home in Pittsburgh. Can we take it easy on Mike Tomlin? The man's going to end up in a rubber room. I mean, this is a team. Why are they usually in the playoffs? Because they usually win at the line of scrimmages, by the way. They usually can run the ball. What a concept. Wow, they've been doing that since the 70s. That's kind of who they've been, no matter the coach, no matter what goes on. They've always been tough at the line of scrimmages. Wow, shocker. Anyway, that poor man, can you get him a half-decent quarterback? Do you have to get him like disasters or head cases or something? Devlin Duck Hodges. I mean, Justin, I can't hit the ocean fields. Russell, I work out in the middle of an airplane Wilson. I mean, Mason, I'm definitely do not resemble anything like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He can fly, and he came through in big moments. Not Mason. Kenny Pickett. That's exactly what they did to him. They picked it. I mean, come on. Mitchell Trubisky. Hey, coach, yeah, we just got you. There's no way that man has any say in what quarterbacks he's getting. Somebody hates him in the building. Now they want to give him Aaron Rodgers? Like, come on, let's go. Poor man. Jesus. Aaron Rodgers. I read that, and that is that's scary. Anyway. All right. What do we got here? Remember, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation as always, which we always appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, by the way, you could also make a donation through PayPal. You can send in your questions and comments and compliments and insults, which we always appreciate the insults. The insults are always fine. Always good. Let's see what else. By the way, depressing day for me today. I did not get my Black Sabbath tickets. We tried. So it looks like no trip to London for me in July. Man, that would have been great to go to that concert. Man, too much. But by the way, if any of our friends across the pond, if you happen to have an extra ticket, I'll buy it. I'll fly over and buy it. Okay, just in case. If anybody out there has got a extra ticket to see Black Sabbath, I will definitely go. Damn, dude. That would have been so amazing to go to that concert. It was depressing. I knew I wasn't going to get the ticket. My boy Greep was trying. But I mean, the whole world is trying to get those tickets. It's one stadium. It's one concert. It's a lineup that is like, once in a lifetime. So you're not going to get anything like that. I don't know. If any of you were able to get the tickets, God bless you, man. God bless you. That is awesome. That is a true blessing. You're right, Mackenzie is the guy in the ship who says, I have a child. The child's face is the Titans logo. Dolphin Dave, you are so funny. Thanks for a great day. Thank you, sir. It's good when some of the folks give you material, and you can just pick up and slam. The Super Bowl, by the way, reached a record 126 million people. So the Trump and the Swiftie folks, you had Trump and Swifties there, and you have technology. So there's a second year in a row. You have so many platforms now and all that, and they keep adding stuff, and you're able to reach more people everywhere. And last year it was 123.7. This year they have the figure right around 126 million. They say it peaked in the second quarter at 135.7. So this is going to be something that is going to go on and on, maybe for a couple more years as technology evolves and you have different ways to show the game to people. And those numbers, remember, I don't even know how you count the people in bars. I don't even know how you do that, but because of having the different avenues and different ways of reaching people, you're going to be able to grow your audience. And you probably always had a huge audience or a bigger audience than what you thought you had. But now that you literally can expand the game into different platforms all over the world, then you've got that opportunity. I was laughing because over the weekend, some idiot, like always, I love all sports. So it's kind of like in crypto. You'll have these Bitcoin maxis that, they shit on Ethereum and Solana and XRP and Cardano. And there's a place for all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just stupid. And Cardano people will be anti-Ethereum, and Ethereum people will be anti-Solana, and Solana people will be anti-Ethereum. It's just this stupidity sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So choosing sides makes no sense, whatsoever. And what's it called? Now I lost my train of thought. What was I just saying now? Damn it. What was I just saying now that I lost my train of thought in the comparisons?
You're talking about the crypto and people.
Yeah, so people do that stuff. They take the sides on crypto when anything can help you. But what was I comparing it to now? Damn it. What was I talking about before?
It started down the platforms of watching the Super Bowl, and then you went into the analogy.
Yeah, and what was my analogy going to be? No, I lost my train of thought, bro. Damn it. What was I going to say from it? So that's what happens. I don't write the whole thing out. I just
you were talking Super Bowl viewership again, and I don't know what the analogy was going to be. Then you started doing the crypto and how there's certain people that
they pick on it. And
does this go about the platforms on how you're viewing it? If they watch it on Netflix, if they watch it on Fox, if they
but I don't know what.
I don't know where you're going, so I'm just trying to throw something.
Now I'm trying to remember what I was going to do, and now I forgot exactly what I was going to say about it. But in obviously with the platforms, you're able to reach a lot more people. So this allows you to kind of grow the whole process. I don't know how far we're going to go with all of this, obviously, and I still don't know what the analogy that I was going to make. So, with super viewership and then the crypto thing was something that I was going to do, that I was going to tie it around, but whatever. Either way, this is pretty cool that they're now I got it. Over the weekend, somebody went and because in crypto, like I told you, you have these people bitter. In sports, we do the same thing. In sports, we have like these soccer people that, soccer is the best. And the NFL people, football, screw baseball or whatever, this, that. I'm an all sports guy. Sean's an all sports guy. So for me, I don't enter into that silliness. I don't really give a shit. I love all sports. But we have the soccer idiots. We have these soccer elites, right, that piss me off all the time. And the moron comes out and posts, the Super Bowl will be watched by this many people, but the World Cup will be watched by this many people. That's just a dumbass comparison. I would expect something that is worldwide to outdraw something that is national. Football is only decided in the United States. So, of course, the viewership is only going to be in the United States. Do we have viewership around the world? Yeah. But it's a U.S. sport. It's an American sport through and through, from beginning to end. Soccer is a worldwide sport. So what I turned I turned the tables on that tweet, and I said the comparison is the NFL as a league produces more than any soccer league in the world. Premiership, Serie A, Bundesliga, I don't give a shit. The NFL crushes all of them. So, of course, FIFA is the biggest, but FIFA is the entire freaking world, moron. But Premiership standing up to the NFL doesn't come close. The NFL produces way way more money. Not even close. Serie A to the NFL, not even close. Again, doesn't matter to me. I love all sports. I love the MLS. I love the Premiership. It doesn't matter. I love soccer. I love football. I love baseball. I love basketball. I follow it all. So I'm not a hater of one. And I don't do the same thing we do in crypto or we do in sports that we're, oh, my sport's good and your sport just sucks. No, dude, I love them all. But I do like putting people in their place when they just want to be smart asses and they want to do stupid ass comparisons like the World Cup to the Super Bowl. That's not how you would compare it. Okay? It's not how you compare it. It's not supposed to be that way. So, it's just kind of silliness. So I ran into that over the weekend, and it kind of reminds me of the crypto market, that they do that stupid shit where they just choose sides. And it's like, I don't care, dude. Bitcoin is the best. There's no doubt in my mind. That's the one you want to invest in. That's the one everybody's investing in. But there's other ones that are going to have a real world usage, and they are going to grow. Like Microsoft did, like Amazon did, like Tesla did, like many other companies have over the last century or two. What else do we have? Okay. Thank you for helping me try to figure out where I lost my train of thought. Doesn't happen to me much, but hey, we're all human. It's going to happen every once in a while. By the way, what happened? I thought the NFL was rigging everything for the Chiefs. Oh, no rigging there, huh? And they got it all done, and they ended up winning and moving on. So I guess the rigging stuff was over. All you got to do is be better. And if you're better, you'll probably come out on top. Let's get to some music news. I already gave you my personal music news. Not getting my Black Sabbath ticket today was just absolutely depressing. Really depressing. And I had it all planned. If I go to the Black Sabbath concert, I was going to see ELO. It was their final tour. Also in Birmingham, they were going to be there. And I was to stay there for a week. And during the week, Alison Moyet is performing. Okay, Yaz, for those of you that don't know. And I love her solo stuff too. And the Human League. Can you imagine? ELO, the Human League, Alison Moyet, and Black Sabbath's final show with that star-studded lineup, including Metallica and many others. Whoa. That might have been one of the greatest weeks of my musical journeys. You know what I'm saying? Again, anybody out there got an extra ticket to Black Sabbath in London, in Birmingham? I'm there. I will buy the ticket. Okay, I'm not asking for a freebie at all. But, if you happen to have an extra, I'm flying over. Damn it. It was depressing not being able to get that today. Depressing. I knew it was going to happen. I was prepared to be depressed. I got to say. That I was. I was prepared to be depressed. All right, let's go with musicians celebrating birthdays today on the 11th of February. We start out with Kelly Rowland, smoke show from Destiny's Child, born on this date in 1981. Happy birthday to her. Brandy, American singer, born on this date in 1979. Mike Shinoda, guitarist and vocalist with Linkin Park, born in the state in 1977. American metal musician Craig Jones, best known as sampler and keyboardist in Slipknot, known as Number 5. Born on this date in 1972. Sheryl Crow, All I Want to Do Is Have Some Fun. Born on this date in 1962. Who else celebrating birthdays today? Sergio Mendes, Brazilian musician. Born on this date in 1941. Sadly, we lost him in 2004 at the age of 83. But 83 is a pretty good damn life, man. I'll take 83 every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays on February 11th. Ooh, Jennifer Aniston is 55 today. Taylor Lautner, actor, is 33 years old. Thomas Edison, born in this date in 1841, lost him in 1931. I know of her. I don't know much of her music, but Young Miami is 30. Isn't she involved a little bit in the Diddy stuff? Young Miami? Wasn't she mixed up with that stuff? Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Definitely not mentioning that. Aubrey O'Day, pop singer. She is 40. Not that I know anything of her music, but I do know the name. Burt Reynolds was born on this date in 36. Smokey was passed away in 2018. We lost the bandit. Matthew Lawrence, movie actor, is 44. Josh Jacobs, football player, 26. And that is it. Sean Stanley, sir, do you have any wrestlers celebrating birthdays today?
Yes, sir, we do. Big Mama, the NWA Television Women's Champion, is 37. Ryzen is 39. Hernandez turns 52. And the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, he's 61 on February 11th, 2025.
All righty. We move over to music history. What happened today in music history on February 11th? In 92, Motley Crue fired singer Vince Neil after he turned up for rehearsals claiming that he lost his passion for the band and wanted to instead race cars. They reunited 5 years later. In 72, Led Zeppelin had their third top 20 single in America with My Black Dog, Misty Mountain Hop. The track off the group's fourth album peaked at number 15. For those wondering, the song's title is a reference to a nameless black Labrador retriever that wandered around the studios where the band recorded. There you go. In 2014, Queen made UK chart history, becoming the first act to sell 6 million copies of an album with their greatest hits compilation. In 2003, Limp Bizkit's Fred Durst told Access Hollywood he broke off his relationship with Britney Spears because she has a life like Michael Jackson. And that's what happened with crazy people on this date in music history. By the way, the Doobie Brothers have announced a North American tour. Unfortunately, I am not getting any Florida dates, but you will, starting in August in Detroit, in Bergstown, Pennsylvania, Holmdel, New Jersey, Bristow, Virginia, Wantagh, New York, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Camden, New Jersey, Boston, Massachusetts, Guilford, New Hampshire, Saratoga Springs, New York, St. Louis, Ridgedale, Milwaukee, Tinley Park, Cincinnati, Noblesville, Franklin, Cuyahoga Falls, and Toronto. Okay? If you can't figure out the states in the country, I can't help you. But there you go. Just in case you want to hit a doobie, there you go. That's what's happening there. Also, for our friends in Edmonton, you bastards are getting a pretty good little festival. Def Leppard, Weezer, and Bret Michaels lead the lineup for Edmonton's edition of Rockin' Thunder Festival on July 11th and 12th. All right? 2-day festival. Def Leppard, Weezer, and Joan Jett, Stone Temple Pilots, and other host rock gods will descend upon the city. The festival kicks off Friday the 11th with Def Leppard leading the bill, included with Joan Jett, Bret Michaels, Toke, and Queensryche. The second night will feature Weezer, Stone Temple Pilots, Sam Roberts Band, and Default. Pretty good little festival for those of you in the Edmonton area. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Pat says, just read about the 2032 asteroid. Oh, yeah. Didn't it go up and like we had like a 1 in 42 chance. Now it's like a 1 in 30 something or went up or something. Not so worried about the Dolphins now. 1 in 48 chance it hits her Earth. Now we know why Elon is trying to get to Mars. And they got to wait like a couple of more years before they know the real trajectory of that asteroid. Remember, they've already had luck in nudging an asteroid off its path. So they know how to do it already. But they've got to wait a couple of more years till they can zero in more on the exact direction it's going in once it enters our stratosphere. So that's kind of the whole deal with it. I kind of checked up on that because I wanted to see if maybe I was ever going to enjoy my retirement. Just joking. Anyway, but yeah. I somehow kept up with that kind of crap. What else do we have going on in the world of sports? Oh, there we go. All right. What was I going to check? Nothing really earth-shattering going on in the markets, by the way. For those of you in the stock market, we are up 25 points in the Dow. The S&P is down 5 points, and the NASDAQ is still down a point. Okay. So that is that. And this is that. All right, we are wrapping it up. We appreciate it. Yes, Sean?
The Saints hired Kellen Moore, which was already known, I believe.
Oh, yeah. I
see it officially, it looks like.
Yeah. Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore is finalizing a deal with the Saints to be their new head coach per the insiders. What was expected for more than a week will be official soon. Moore leaves Philly a Super Bowl champion, and now work begins in New Orleans. So there you go. Kellen Moore. I remember interviewing Kellen Moore. I've told this story many times. He's coming out of Boise State, I think it was, right? He was a quarterback at Boise State, if I'm correct. And back when I used to go to the Senior Bowl and they used to give me the players, and I would get pretty much every quarterback that was in the Senior Bowl. Pretty much every quarterback in the Senior Bowl came to my booth there. Back when, the Senior Bowl used to like really give you access. They don't do that anymore, unfortunately. They charge you a world of money, and it's just not worth it. It's just so sad, bro. I used to have so much fun doing all that stuff, and now it's just so corporate. It really sucks, dude. But anyway, so Kellen Moore sits down with me, and he walks away, and I swear, I told everybody at that moment, he looks like a paper boy. He just did not. He was the most unassuming quarterback I have ever seen in my life. When you looked at Kellen Moore as a college player, you thought he was going to go with you to a rock concert to go have a couple of beers. There was no way you looked at him and said, you're an athlete and you're a starting quarterback. I believe it was Boise State, if I'm correct. Because he had a good career at Boise State. He was a smart guy. He didn't have a great arm or anything like that, but when you're a smart guy, you can place the ball. You can get far, and he got all the way to the NFL with very limited talent. And that's why he's a coach, because he always had the mind for the game. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that he was a guy that it was like I was so unimpressed with him physically. It was just one of those deals. It was definitely trippy. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. I appreciate you all out there. Have a fantastic day. There's not a lot to talk about, man. There's really not a lot of real substance going on, unfortunately. We shall see you tomorrow. We thank Sean Stanley. We thank David Furones. Same time, same place, same bad channel.
This is the Big O Show.